Daffodils is one of the best known works of William Wordsworth. The poem was composed in 1802. In Daffodils, he describes nature in its very essence and form. Daffodils is also known by the title I Wandered Lonely as a Cloud. Let's read the poem together. I wandered lonely as a cloud that floats on high over the vales and hills, when all at once I saw a crowd, a host of golden daffodils, beside the lake, beneath the trees, fluttering and dancing in the breeze. The very first line informs about the loneliness of the poet, which he faces after the death of his brother John. The poet compares himself to a solitary cloud that floats over hills and valley. Like the cloud, the poet has been wandering across the countryside without any aim. Suddenly he saw a crowd, not crowd of people, but a host of golden daffodils beside a lake, beneath the trees. The daffodils were fluttering and dancing in the breeze. The second stanza. Continuous as the stars that shine and twinkle on the Milky Way, they stretched in never ending line along the margin of a bay. 10,000 saw I at a glance, tossing their heads in sprightly dance. At the beginning of the stanza, the poet uses two words to describe stars: shine and twinkle. Shine means emitting bright light, and twinkle is shining strong and weak, flashing on and off. In the second stanza, Wordsworth compares the daffodils to stars. Just like stars are twinkling in the Milky Way, the golden flowers were shining and fluttering in the breeze. They were arranged in a never ending line and were visible as far as he could see along the margin of a bay. Thousands he saw at a glance, tossing their heads and cheerfully dancing in the breeze. The waves beside them danced, but they outdid the sparkling waves in glee. A poet could not but be gay in such a jocund company. I gazed and gazed, but little thought what wealth the show to me had brought. The dancing waves of the lake were no match for the sparkling waves of happy daffodils. The happy company of daffodils was the ultimate source of happiness for the poet, and he can feel nothing but happiness in the jocund company of daffodils. The poet gazed and gazed at the beautiful daffodils, wondering what wealth the show brought to him. The abundance of nature in front of him made him feel that he could take away just a little bit of it. The final stanza. For oft when on my couch I lie, in vacant or in pensive mood, they flash upon that inward eye, which is the bliss of solitude. And then my heart with pleasure fills and dances with the daffodils. In the final stanza, the poet says, when he lies on his couch in vacant or in pensive mood, the sight of daffodils flashes in his mind and becomes a source of happiness in his solitude. The inward eye that the poet speaks is a fountain of imagination. The beautiful and compelling memory of daffodils takes away his sorrows and fills him with the pleasure, and his heart dances with the daffodils. Daffodils is written in the form of a lyric. It has four stanzas, and each stanza has six lines. The lines are composed in tetrameter, rhyming A B A B C C. The rhyming couplet at the end of each stanza is composed in a way to enhance spontaneity. The poem is about the impact of nature on the human mind. Therefore, Wordsworth uses appropriate objects, colors, and mood to build up a joyful atmosphere. Daffodils abounds in the use of figurative language. The poem opens up with a metaphorical comparison of a poet to a cloud. Then he personifies flowers using the words such as dancing, fluttering, and tossing their heads. When Wordsworth writes, they stretched in never ending line along the margin of a bay, 10,000 saw I at a glance, tossing their heads in sprightly dance. he uses hyperbole. The tone of the poem is emotive, hyperbolic, expressive, and thoughtful. Using personification, Wordsworth draws the reader close to nature.